So I woke up this morning and I realized that we would have a repeat offender in our midst. Brian King is coming back to join us. He's going to speak to us today about personal security, be it home, vehicle, or individual. So Sheriff Brian King has been a law enforcement officer in Clallam County since 1995, working as a police officer for Forks and La Push police departments prior to becoming a sheriff's deputy in 2001. Sheriff King has held many assignments during his career, including patrol, school resource officer, canine officer, detective, and sergeant. Sheriff King is a class of 1993 Forks High School graduate. He received his associate's degree in criminal justice from the Peninsula College in 1995, prior to attending Washington State University Social Science Bachelor's Program. In 2015, former Sheriff Benedict appointed Brian to his command staff to serve as the Chief Criminal Deputy, overseeing the operations of the patrol and investigation divisions. In 2017, Sheriff King graduated from the number 267 FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Sheriff King also served as commander of the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Team, OPNET, until assuming the office of the sheriff in 2023. Please welcome Sheriff Brian King.
I'm going to try to use this thing because I tend to walk around when I talk and I like to point at the slides and stuff. So I'll do my very best. And if I have to, I'll just use my cop voice. When I yell at people. So this is kind of like a hybrid presentation. We do a lot of presentations to community groups. And so a little bit of this is about our neighborhood block watch program. And what I really want to talk about is maybe inspire you all to kind of think about your neighborhoods, maybe become one of our neighborhoods that are organized. And if you organize and you decide that you want to target harden your homes and you want to have that relationship with the sheriff's office, that I think is very, very critical to public safety, you'll get me and I will come to your homes and I will come to your communities. We'll have those conversations and connect you with our deputies, because I think that's why Clallam County is so safe, because we have those personal connections that exist. So really, our block watch program is all about empowerment. And so target hardening, giving you the power to help us keep your neighborhoods crime free. And so through our community policing team, our emergency management division, and our neighborhood block watch programs, we utilize community-oriented policing strategies to keep Clallam County safe. This is our mission statement. We all have a role in public safety. That's very, very critical when it comes to, we cannot at the sheriff's office do this alone. And I'll show you a couple of slides that demonstrate exactly why that is. And even though at our low staffing ratios, we keep our county safe. So what is Neighborhood Watch? It's organization. It is citizens working together with local law enforcement to report suspicious or criminal activity. It's education. I'll give you a little bit of that today. And then it's communication. And communication is one of those key points. When we organize as a neighborhood and we communicate as a neighborhood and we include those communications with the sheriff's office, we make those connections. And so those connections are, yesterday, my Mount Pleasant neighborhood, speeding log trucks. They're coming down the hill, 50, 60 miles per hour. How can we solve that? Okay, take a picture of the truck. I'll look on the side of the truck. I'll see where the truck belongs, and I'll make a phone call. And it's just little things like that, that the next day, all 15 or 20 log trucks that are coming blazing down Mount Pleasant Road are slowing down because it's just one phone call. So it's those little connections, we can do a lot with just communication. So our communications tools, we have a website. Our Facebook page, nextdoor.com, part of our communication platform, and what our community projects coordinator puts together is when we organize, we actually create those next door neighborhoods as well. So if you're a Nextdoor subscriber, you will see all the different neighborhoods, and I'll show you a picture of that real soon. But we can take geographical areas, put them into communication with one another, and it's a great communication tool when it comes to the Block Watch program. The Clallam County alert system, we just changed vendors. And so I would ask everybody in this room to go to our website. Our current platform, we didn't feel was really reaching out to all of our citizens. We only had about 60,000 of our citizens that was reaching. Our new program is going to reach over 90,000 different phone numbers. So, but I would ask that everybody in the room go to our website, get on our Clallam County alert system. Anybody that was already a subscriber comes over, we want to make sure that that transfer is clean so that all the data comes over. And it's a good opportunity to just update your contact information, phone numbers change, different things like that. But it's going to be really critical, especially when we look at a major natural disaster and we want to communicate with the public about what's going on. We want to get that to you. We want to make sure we have the most updated information on file. Anonymous tips through our crime net. There are a lot of folks that want anonymity when they talk with the police. So we give this tool out there to say, hey, just throw us information, throw us tips, whatever we can do. We can communicate back to the tipster and ask clarifying questions. They can choose to respond. Oftentimes, I will go back and say, hey, this is really important that you have a conversation with us. Are you, I would like to sit down and talk with you about, and oftentimes just that communication and starting that communication can convince people to come in and talk to me. There's our email that goes in to my administrative assistant, and she helps me keep track of all the emails that I get all the time. And then the Drug Task Force tip line, very important number. We have a highly successful narcotics investigations unit. It's a small unit. We're working every single day. I don't know if anybody maybe listened to the radio this morning or had read the PDN, but our team caught a fugitive from Texas yesterday that we've been surveilling for about 5-6 days. So when we talk about narcotics enforcement, our team also does a lot of fugitive apprehension. We're all major cases in the county are homicides. The team comes out. They're not a one-trick pony. When we don't have something major going on, they're out buying drugs on our street. And here's our prosecutor's website. Mark Nichols, your county prosecutor, typically joins me at the neighborhood conversations that we do have. And so you can see that relationship in the justice system. We have very distinct and separate duties and responsibilities, but we work well together to get the job done. That's me. So this is our website. Code Red is we're moving away from that platform. So I talked about our alert system. Our new system is Everbridge. If you go to our website now, tap on Everbridge, just update your information so we can get those alerts out.
So Code Red's going.
Code Red is going. Yeah, so we're making sure you can continue. So we're overlapping the program, making sure nothing goes away, pulling the data down into the new Everbridge system. But there's any IT folks in here, I apologize. But sometimes that is not as smooth as we'd like it to be. One of the programs we're really proud of at the Sheriff's Office is our bike patrol program for the Olympic Discovery Trail. We have deputies and then volunteers that are on the trail constantly. When we talk about efficiencies at the Sheriff's Office, our volunteers are out on the trail, and when they see a problem that they actually need a deputy to come out and address, they call us. So it's proactivity at its finest, and it keeps our trails clean, and that's one of the and safe. So we love that program. This is our Facebook site. And you can see up here, we have a little box around Clallam County and how challenging geographically that may be. I would ask everybody to follow our sheriff's Facebook site. We're talking about the latest in scams, what we're doing out in the community, and it's just another communications tool. And it gives me a kind of a sense of how people are feeling. And when we post things about the scams and I watch the post and I watch that, you always have a lot of naysayers, but what I really look for is commonality, and that commonality in the concerns that the community has directs my thinking. And so I like to invite everybody to come to the website and just follow us on Facebook. So these are our nextdoor.com neighborhoods that we talk about with our community block watch programs. And some of the areas are big, like you can see Joyce, Mount Pleasant's kind of big. It encompasses more than, one specific neighborhood. We can reach out to Nextdoor and actually shrink or expand some of these neighborhoods. I'm part of the golf course, South Golf Course Road neighborhood. And so I will see posts from my neighbors up the hill and down the hill. And it gives a stronger sense of community. The platform is very, very, very similar to Facebook. There is a lot of ads that drive me nuts, but that's part of a free program. There's no cost associated. Mark's not here. This is his website.
Brian, he'll be joining us June 28th and then again in November.
Oh, well, you got him twice and you only once.
He offered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, did the good.
So this is our Clallam County Sheriff areas. So, and it's kind of funny. This is Area 51, SWIM's area 51. This is Area 52, 53, 54. 5 is code just for area in our speak, and it just turned out that we decided to call SWIM 51.
Answers a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So we do this to designate patrol areas. So we can add efficiencies, so I can make assignments to deputies in certain areas. I can say, hey, I want 2 Area 1 deputies, I want 2 Area 2 deputies, I want 1 Area 3 deputy, and I want 1 Area 4 deputy. And so deputies communicate when they change areas as well. So we're constantly in communication and know where deputies are. So here's the reality of a Friday at the Clallam County Sheriff's Office. And today for us, this is a double. So 2 teams, 2 day shift teams are working to get together. So this is an overlap day, which allows us to train or have emphasis patrols. Today we're doing taser training and conducting emphasis patrols. But the reality of it is, even on a double staff, double shifted day that we have today, we'll have 2 deputies in SWIM, 2 deputies in Port Angeles, and 2 deputies for both Area 3 and 4. And that's the reality of every day and every shift at the Sheriff's Office. We have 39 deputies, including myself, that are commissioned, fully commissioned, to have the powers of arrest 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with a detectives team. And with those 39 deputies, that's the efficiency we put in place. So it is very critical for us to remain and be successful that you communicate with us. That's the Clallam alert system there. So if you go to our website, click on that, and I'm going to punch that guy. I really, 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 really want everybody in this room to click on and join Clallam alerts. One of the services that we offer, what is very important to community safety, is our community crime mapping. So you can actually come to our website and join our community crime mapping, conduct searches of your neighborhoods, and look at what's occurring in the neighborhoods. And so This is just a snapshot. This was just Port Angeles, a real quick search that I conducted 1 year. Everybody can go in and customize filters, whatever they're trying to look at, you can filter out. I just want to see the thefts that are occurring in my neighborhood or across Clallam County today, or burglaries. On the back end, we use this as a tool for staffing response to, we can see trends. And so it establishes those trends for us. Like, boy, it feels to me like we're having a lot of burglaries in Gales Addition. I want to use our analytics to look for commonalities. When I look at those analytics and I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, great. Like within a 2-block radius, we've had 7 burglaries. And they occurred during these timeframes. So we are going to have targeted patrols, and it really helps. And sometimes this mapping oftentimes may center to an actual suspect. It's fascinating to say, like, okay, we look at things like most people in this neighborhood walk, and what are the distances from this location to this location, and we begin to do that. And sometimes the mapping is actually going to tell us we need to be looking at these 5 houses based on the radius that it creates. We do that, we go out there, and next thing you know, oh yeah, we got ourselves over. So join the, take a look at that, subscribe to that as well. Come in, take a look at what's going on in your neighborhood. And if you see things that are happening and you're like, boy, there was a burglary down the street the other night, and I did see a suspicious car in the neighborhood that I never recognized before. I'm going to call the sheriff's office because I see that they're investigating something and I might have some information. So awareness is key to our success and keeping the community safe. This is an example of some of the analytics that we use. This is Port Angeles 1-year period. You see we do a lot of assaults. There's a lot of thefts. We're seeing a lot of sex offenses. And we try to look at that and go like, well, why is that? And I think it's a lot of education around the stigma of not reporting. And yesterday, day before yesterday, we arrested an individual in Swim who was molesting and raping a child repeatedly over a 6-month period. And so and this had been occurring. She didn't know how to reach out or how to talk. We do a lot of public outreach and saying, like, these are pretty outrageous crimes that we take very, very seriously. And so a lot of these sex offenses, unfortunately, have to do with children. And so we have detectives that are just dedicated to investigating child crimes, and they are, sad to say that they are extremely busy in the work that they do. Lots of DUIs still out there too. Lots of DUIs. So vehicle crowd prevention tips. I pointed to thefts. There's a lot of vehicle crowds out here. This is probably the biggest emphasis in our enforcement efforts is vehicle crowds. And so they continue to be on the rise. Most of the vehicle crowds in Clallam County are with unlocked doors. So we're out there and we think, on TV, they're smash and grabs, windows are being broken. Only about 5% of our vehicle crowds are actually forced entry vehicle crowds. It's mostly people that just aren't locking their doors. So I talk about everybody. People just get lackadaisical parking lots. Please lock your doors. You prevent so much just from locking your vehicles. Kathy.
Just the other day, we were working on the Olympic Discovery Trail at 18th, and where you go on and go up by the airport. And the lady had left the car open. The person just slipped their hand under her seat. She lost her purse and her cell phone. So she got
Discovery Trail trailheads. We have a lot of vehicle crowds, unlocked vehicles that are left there. It's very rare that we have broken windows. It's folks. And if we watch surveillance at Walmart, tons of vehicle crowds at Walmart. And what we look for is watch it. Maybe next time you go to Walmart, watch folks just going, checking doors, walking through the parking lot. So we look at that. That's what they're looking. They're just going, this one open? Is this one open? The next thing you do, they jump in and they just grab items quickly. So they're looking for the laptop on the passenger seat. Anytime you go to the pharmacy and there's a Rite Aid bag or anything like that, don't let any of your prescription medications be visible. That is where you're gonna have broken windows. People are looking for your prescription meds, they're looking for those sacks. Those are key indicators, things that, okay, prescription narcotics are highly valuable on the street, and so they're just looking for your little Rite Aid bags. So make sure you're putting those away. We talk about parking in lighted areas. When I go to Walmart, I park right under the lights, and part of it for me is that I know where the cameras are at, lighting, everything, those key things that I have a little bit of intimate knowledge of. But the closer you can park to the entrance, the better visibility of the security cameras, and then parking in the lighted areas. I used to park when I got my new Challenger way out because I didn't want anybody door dings. I am beyond that now. So I don't okay. Or door ding if I park near the entrance and where there's good lighting. Purses, wallets, valuables, and vehicles. If you're going to keep them there, secure them. Lockbox, glove box, keep them out of the view of anybody that wants to take your stuff. Your remote controls for your garage door opener visible in your car. You know, most of our cars these days actually have it as part of a feature in our cars, but those visible ones, the clip-on ones that can go up and off your visor, put those away. People see those, they'll take those, they'll drive around neighborhoods looking for a garage door to open. They'll collect those, and eventually when they're out prowling around, they'll hit it, and you know, they sometimes hit the jackpot, and next thing you know, a door opens. Or, you know, with the less expensive garage door openers and the frequencies that are out there, sometimes a garage door opener may open other doors as well. It's really close. And please don't leave your keys in your car. One of the unanticipated consequences that some of our legislators may say are no pursuit laws, resulted in a significant increase in stolen vehicles. And so we see a lot of stolen vehicles in the past 2 years compared to what we did prior to the pursuit laws. Here in Clallam County, we saw about a 300% increase in stolen vehicles. Now, you know, that number sounds really ugly, but it kind of went from like 5 or 6 stolen vehicles a year now to 30, now to 40 stolen vehicles in incorporated Clallam County. So it's not huge, a huge number. But most of the time, these thefts are as a result of people keeping keys. Bad guys are lazy. They're lazy. And so just don't give them opportunity, and you won't become a victim of crime. Next slide, please. So a few burglary prevention tips. Lock your doors, lock your windows. I grew up in Forks. I never locked my doors to the house. Our cars were always open. I was never a victim of crime, but we lived out away from populated areas. It was just never a thought in our mind. When I took this job and I started going to victims' houses and began to investigate these crimes, I'm like, everybody's house is unlocked. The windows are unlocked. The front doors are unlocked. 90% of most of our burglaries, most of our thefts at homes are unlocked doors and windows. We rarely have forced entry burglaries in our county. It's just folks getting a little lazy. Lighting on your home is by far the best deterrent. Bad guys do not like lights. Motion sensing lights scare burglars and thieves away. Years and years of conducting interviews with these folks that are breaking into your homes and arresting them, and we sit down and we have those conversations. We talk about those things. We talk about, yeah, that house was too lit up. There was no way that I was going to go to that house, but This one, you know, the driveway was really, really dark and I thought I could sneak up to the front door. It didn't look like anybody was home. And so a lot of the tips I talk about today are just from lived experience and knowing like, okay, these are the things that folks who were gonna go out there and take your stuff are looking for. Audible alarms, inexpensive these days, even small ones on the doors and windows, not even necessarily does not have to be connected to a provider like security services. You can spend a lot of money to just have that monitoring service in place. That's not what's going to save you. Those people just call us and we take 20 minutes to get to your house. It's the audible alarm that scares the individual away. And that's what that's what you want. You don't, you know, people spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month on these fancy alarm systems, but really the value in the alarm system is chase people away, the audibility of that. Yeah, it'll alert us, but it's going to take us some time to get there. The bad guy is already going to be gone. Yeah, we know that, you know, this happened, but it doesn't increase our solvability. What we're trying to do is just get that person away so you're not a victim of crime. And they run. They don't stick around when the alarm goes off. Prickly shrubs under windows. That's a real thing. It's a repeated theme. Like nobody wants to, you know, have bloody arms. We arrest a lot of burglars that we chase into the bushes. They usually hit blackberry bushes, and they're just all scraped up and they're covered up. But they talk about all the shrubs around a house, and they utilize their strategies on picking windows and checking windows where there's easy access. And you know, you might have a firefighter like Jake Patterson here who's saying like, oh, bring all the bushes away from the house because they could catch fire and all these other things. I'm going like, okay, what are the chances of fire in your house burning down versus preventing a burglary? There's far more value in having that shrubbery around your home and eliminating access to access points. Surveillance systems, they are cheap now, and we solve crimes with Arlo, Ring, all these different really inexpensive camera systems that exist today. My house, I probably have about $300, maybe $400 total in cameras around my house. I monitor them from my phone, and I have the ability. I've solved a lot of crime, not just you know, I have never been a victim of a crime. It's the oddest thing, and it's probably because I do this. Maybe it's a sheriff's car in the driveway. But I have never been a victim of a crime, but my neighbors have, or people up the street have, and I've used my system to solve crimes for them. It's because, okay, what time did your lawnmower walk away? And they're like, oh, it's about 1 o'clock. Let's go check my camera. Let's check the other neighbor's camera. The more cameras that we have in Clallam County and people putting on this, when we go to a neighborhood, Sunland is crazy. Don't commit a crime in Sunland. Like you will I guarantee you're going to go to jail because if car comes in and everybody has cameras, car goes out, right? And then there's a burglary or a theft at a house. And it's like, okay, we're going to be checking. And we put it out to the whole Sunland neighborhood and say, everybody check your cameras between 1 o'clock and 1:15 in the afternoon and notify me if you don't recognize any of the vehicles. All of a sudden you'll get like 15 people that'll say, yeah, there was a black Tahoe we've never seen before. Oh, great. Give me a license plate. And this is a real example. We're like, oh, that's great. Okay, we'll put it out to all the deputies. Next thing you know, John Wayne Marina. Oh, found the Tahoe. There they are. It's occupied with, I mean, it's that quick before we even get to the call. But it's those relationships and those kind of game cameras work well too. But everybody has the ability to have their cameras on their phones, watch it, monitor it, communicate those things to us, and it's the community that gives us the success that we appreciate.
I appreciate that. But then there's a devil's advocate that are concerned about hackers getting in, seeing what's the small?
It's that.
Can you repeat the question?
you know, the concern is with hackers, hacking into your camera system and looking at it. There's always a concern, but that concern, you know, is not a problem that we see in Columbia. So I think, you know, most of what those stories that we hear are, you know, what is the benefit of spending a lot of time trying to hack into a home system versus a commercial system? So where we see is most of that hacking occurring is commercial hacking. So commercial hacking, let's say at a warehouse or at a bank or something where there's large financial gain to do so. Now, it is easy to hack if you don't have a secure Wi-Fi network. I mean, put password protected, you know, just don't have it open. I used to do that. I was just like, no, I don't want to put in passcode every single time. I, you know, have somebody come over and I'm like, boy, I'm stupid because somebody can just park in front of my house and get in and do that. That's Brian old brain, not new brain. But yeah, that's those unprotected Wi-Fi networks are really what allows most of the hacking to occur.
I just have a quick, so, do we, just for the sake of time, and I don't want to rush you, does anyone have to leave that has a 50/50 raffle? So we could do the raffle now. Are we good? I'm just gonna, to keep going, or do you want to do the raffle now? Keep going. All right, there we go. Consensus is keep
I'll
going.
turn and burn.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Have trusted neighbors, watch your home. You know, always tell your neighbors, have a trusted neighbor, say, hey, I'm moving down. Can you watch the place for me? If somebody, you know, that shouldn't be at my house, drives up the driveway, call the sheriff's office. This is our dispatch number. This is the non-emergency number, 417-2459. All these materials, I'll give to Kathy and they can email out to you, so you don't have to, we'll just push them all out. But put that number in your phone. That's a good number when you're shutting down 911. I don't think it's an emergency, but I want to talk to a cop. That's the number where you just want to talk to a cop. But don't be afraid to call 911. When you're away, stop mail and newspaper delivery. You know, that's one of the things that people look for is just like, oh, there's, you know, the PDN is 10 times on his front porch, nobody's home. Call dispatch and request vacation checks. Let us know when you're leaving. We keep a vacation check log. When we have deputies in their spare time, look at that log and just say, okay, I'm going to go around and look at everybody who's on vacation in Clallam County and make sure their houses are safe. Install neighborhood watch signs. When you enter a neighborhood, you know, it is truly a deterrent. And so when we organize a neighborhood, we say, okay, whatever you want to name your neighborhood, this is your neighborhood. We sell these signs. The road department will put them up for you, so it's legal wherever you're putting it, and they'll put it on a post, whatever. But in our interviews with suspects of theft, they tell us, they look at those things. They know there's going to be cameras. They know that there's going to be people that are looking, and they know that a relationship has been established with their local law enforcement, and they want nothing to do with that. And so this helps you as you drive through the county and you see these signs, just think about like, okay, that is a neighborhood that communicates with their law enforcement. Leads Online, it's a database where we search all the time for pawn alerts based on property that's been stolen in Clallam County, where we want to see if people are pawning stuff. But you can go in onto Leads Online, and if you have valuables, if you're a contractor, have a lot of tools, and you're driving around with a trailer full of tools, you can actually put all of descriptive information on your tools, anything valuable of firearms into this database, and you will have a record for us to provide in the event that your home is burglarized. Not everybody's sitting down writing down serial numbers for all their valuables. That's just not a thing that we do. But if you think crime prevention, do that. It's good if you are a victim of crime and you have to show your insurance company everything that you do have. But this is a quick and easy way to say, hey, I've got all my valuables into Leads Online. My house was burglarized. Take that. And we will send out pawn alerts on your behalf. So if anybody shows up and they're trying to get rid of some of your stuff, they call us and we come and arrest them. Deterrence to crime, observant residents, well-lit areas. Dogs are a big thing. You know, yeah, bark, 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 bark. Nobody, like, most of the deputies that work at the sheriff's office all have dogs, all have multiple dogs. And just like me, sometimes it's the middle of the night, it can be a pain in the butt because it's a deer, but it's a good thing. It's like, I want to know those things. I sleep with one eye open, and when my dogs are barking, signs, talk about the neighborhood watch, video surveillance, alarms, all key pieces of crime prevention. That's a little bit more of our signage. Private property, I really like no trespassing signs. If you don't want people on your property, especially if you own large pieces of land. People, you know, from an enforcement perspective, we can immediately enforce trespass on land. If there are signs that are up. If you have open area, let's say that you have 15 or you have 20 acres and it's not signed on the back end, it appears that there's no home on the lot, we will have a difficult time proving trespass, because an element of trespass is knowing. That knowing element is instantaneous for us if you have that signage up. So how can you help? Report suspicious activity to law enforcement. Install surveillance cameras. Please do it. They're inexpensive and they're awesome. Document serial numbers. I talked about that. Jewelry appraisals. Part of Leads Online is you can input that information as well. So you have a lot of jewelry, some heirloom jewelry. You want to get it appraised. Do so. Take photographs of it. You can upload it into Leads Online, and we'll always have access to it in the event that you're a victim of a crime. Start a neighborhood watch program. We'll help you set up. We'll do all the heavy lifting, and then in the end, it's just about staying in communicating. You may already be in an established neighborhood program, and so if you're interested in saying, hey, does my neighborhood actually have an established program? Give us a call and we'll tell you. And if that's the case, we'll put you on the list, put you on the meeting invites when we come out to meet. Be a good witness. We all have cell phones. Take photos. If there's a license plate out there on a vehicle suspicious in your neighborhood, just take a photo for us. If you can't get the license plate, don't worry about it. Just take a side view. We know all the bad guys. We really do. They're in and out of the jail. Our jailers know them. I know them. Oftentimes I'll get an email and it was like, yeah, this guy was in my neighborhood. And I'd be like, that is not good. That individual's in your neighborhood. We need to talk. And so just take photos. Surveillance video, like, yeah, this somebody walked up to my front door. I wasn't sure if they were delivering mail. I'm not sure if it was Amazon. I don't know what it is. Yeah, send me that video. Let me take a look at them. Let me look at the car. I have one email that I can send to all the law enforcement in Clallam County. Everybody's going to take a look, and somebody will identify them, and we'll begin to have conversations. Good descriptions of suspects. We all have cell phones. Just take photos and send it to us. Doors, locks, windows, lighting, appearance. When we talk about appearance, I don't park in the garage. And it's just, and that's when I'm like, I want the appearance that I'm always home. And so, yeah, it's nice. Me in the garage. It's nice to park in the garage sometimes. But just think about that. It's appearance. Appearance really matters to some of these folks. Appearance of a video camera on the front of your house is a deterrent. It's a huge deterrent. Just to have those things out there. Putting those signs out there that says, hey, this is 24-hour surveillance. This home is monitored by Arlo. This home is monitored by Ring. Those are deterrents. You will likely never be a victim of a crime if you have those things out there. Garages, make sure that they're locked. That's one of the first places people look. Make sure you're locking your garage doors, and mailboxes have a locking mailbox. If you don't have a locking mailbox, you've been a victim of mail theft. I guarantee you. And just like I talked about folks that drive around or walk around and they check the handles on your cars, There are people that drive around neighborhoods and just check mailboxes. And they go and they go and they go till they find one that's open. They take all your mail. It is, especially around Christmas, it is not uncommon for a deputy to stop a car at 2 or 3 in the morning and there's a whole garbage sack full of mail in the backseat of the car. And it's amazing. And we'll get calls from neighborhoods on a dead end cul-de-sac and where a mail thief has just dumped out all the mail. They go through it, they try to find anything valuable, and then we got this big pile of mail to go through and try to repatriate with the families. So locking boxes. If you can't have a BO box, have a locking mailbox and really ground it in concrete into the ground that can't be removed. Take some time to make sure that your mailbox is really defensible. Unused drugs, there's so much diversion that occurs, especially to our children from their parents, and especially when it comes to opioids and the medicine cabinets and having that access. If you don't need the medication at home anymore, bring it to us. We'll safely dispose of it for you. I'm 15 minutes over. Any questions?
Real quick, how are you doing on recruitment?
Very well. Yeah, it feels so good. Like it's my anxiety today. If you had talked to me in October, I was just like, I continued through all of last year to have a lot of anxiety. We have 10 deputies in background, 6 in the jail, 4 on patrol. If everybody gets through the background process and we're at the very last stages, we will only have 1 deputy opening. So we've been really got aggressive with recruiting, and we'll have about 3 openings in the jail. So that's going from only having about 55 deputies on both sides of the house to 70. So yeah, we were down by about almost 40% of our staff at one point. When I took office last year, we were down 40%. We're at about 15% right now, so it's really exciting.
Cool.
So good.
job.
And thank you. You helped us.
Thank you so much, Brian. And if anybody wants the presentation, I can send it out, correct?
Yeah, I will email you. And there's some other things on scams. I didn't cover any of that. Scammers are driving me nuts right now in Clallam County. The jury scam is going around where they're asking, hey, if you don't pay me $200, I'm going to come over and arrest you. That's and they'll actually impersonate me. They'll impersonate sergeants in our department. They'll make a phone call. Don't fall victim of that. Hey, we don't arrest people for not showing up for jury. It's not a thing. And we don't tell you to pay for your warrants over the phone. We knock on your door.
All right, so